Hello, welcome back to the GorillaBiker. So today I have a cameraman who I'm not allowed to name other than Big J. And we're going to be just changing the brake line on this because, as I've said before, it's crap. So here's the nice new brake line if you haven't seen it before. It has nice things with it and all. New stuff. So braided black stainless line, nice gold tips. A one-man thing, brake bleed clutch. That, in case we have time to put it on, brake fluid, disc brake cleaner, and of course blue paper, because everyone knows you can't clean anything with white paper. What we're going to do is put on the brake bleed kit, crack that, and then just try to bleed as much fluid out of the system as we can. I'm also going to open the reservoir, and I'll show you that in a sec. So all you want to do is crack your bleed nipple a little bit. This is the wrong size spanner, and I was correct. Oh, that's cracked just a smidgen. What you don't want to do is you don't want to open it too far, because if you open it too far, you'll just get brake fluid leaking all over your nice caliper. Now I don't really care because I'm going to repaint it anyway, so if this gets corroded, I'll probably cry for about 20 seconds, then get over it really quick. But yeah, I'm probably going to repaint the whole bike. So look at that. See this? This is the horn. It's shit. I need to change that too. The whole thing looks kind of rusty. And like here, and there, and there, and there. Stop looking. Yeah, okay. So anyway, I'm also just going to open the top reservoir so I can see how much fluid is left in it, and then we'll be back. Also, point to note, don't get brake fluid on your hands. It's really bad, apparently, maybe. Probably. Something I do like to do though is when you give the brake lever a squanch, it can like bubble up liquid. So I do like to leave that on it. You do have to kind of check it every now and again when you're actually putting in new fluid, but for now it doesn't matter so much. Just going to check how much we're getting through. Oh yeah, that's nice and quick. So the reason I have that bottle down there is it has a non-return valve on it. That's why it's called a one-man brake bleeding system. And that's why I can just basically bleed this whole system really, really quick, and it also helps get air out of it later. So that fluid actually wasn't that dirty, to be fair. So if you look in there now, there's actually a bit of dirt in the reservoir. The lake. So what I'm going to do is just soak up as much of what's left as possible, and you can see I'm kind of cleaning out the gunk as well, as much as possible. So you don't need to worry about this too much, but obviously you don't want dirt sitting in your reservoir if you can avoid it. So we're going to try and avoid it as much as is humanly possible. The reason for these kind of craters in here, I don't know, will they show up on the camera, but that's actually to catch the dirt. So it's on purpose, because your higher point here is where the fluid comes in. So obviously when it goes down into these crevices, that's where all the dirt sits, which is a good thing. So now what we're going to do is just open off the top end and try to catch as much of the brake fluid that's left as possible. So this hasn't been opened in a long time. Usually what I do is, pretend to be a hammer action drill and just kind of hammer it something with my hand. It's actually how I got off the rear. If anyone watched the Hagon shocks install video, it's how I got off that rear bolt that didn't want to come loose as well. So there you go, not much left in there. We did a nice bleed job on it. What I'm going to do is just try to get this as out of the way as possible so it doesn't leak on anything. Oh, actually less bad than the top end. Now you can see down here we do have a lot of fluid left, so this one's going to be a bit messier. We're not going to worry about it too much, because that is how life is. And just pop these out of the retainers. So there's a few more up in the top end. So if you see there, these are going to push out towards us, and then we have to feed the top cable through this I don't know what you call that, a brace, I suppose, or top of the triple. Part of the triple? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh baby,
words.
triple.
So another really important thing to do is to kind of match your cables. So this is the top end, which is our nice, looks like our nice flat section here. And what you want to do is kind of line them up. Now the HEL ones I've experienced in the past are never ever exactly the same. This one's actually a bit longer, and again has more of a bend. Why there's more of a bend, I don't know, is it benefit or not, but yeah, it also has less rubber holders, so it doesn't have those two middle rubber holders, but hopefully we won't need them. So other thing is crush washer through the hole, crush washer, and then I usually like to just thread it in by hand just to hold it, make sure everything fits, and also make sure I'm not stripping anything, because this is a stainless bolt, so it's a little bit heavier duty than what this poor bike is used to. And again, crush washer through the hole, crush washer. Also remember what I said, don't get brake fluid on your hands. I had some in my eye the other day. It was faintly uncomfortable. Just gonna turn it through. Yeah, so that doesn't look like it's catching anywhere, so I'd say we're fairly good there. So what you want to do is, again, same as before, get on your bleeder kit and fill up your reservoir with new fluid. Make sure you crack this enough that you can actually squeeze fluid out through it, and we're going to have to bleed the entire system. Here we have our brand new bottle of Liquid Moly .4. If you do open a bottle of brake fluid, don't leave it open for too long, because it does absorb Fazer and will go off. So first and foremost, make sure your master cylinder is facing as up as you possibly can. So for now it doesn't matter how much we put in, because most of this is probably going to bleed straight through the system. What we did there was literally just squanch this 3 times and hold it, crack the bleeder, you'll get air out and eventually you'll spurt out brake fluid. Quick lesson for you, because I did it. Don't sit directly in front of the brake valve. You get brake fluid in your eye and it hurts. Don't do it. So now we're bleeding. You can see all the air coming out. All these bubbles. I'm going to be getting rid of all of them. We're actually nearly out of brake fluid now, just through bleeding it through. You want to top it back up.
Why are you bleeding it through?
They're all those air bubbles. If you have air bubbles in the system, when you're braking, these will like get crushed and they make your brakes feel spongy, and then you get a bubble trapped in the line somewhere, and then you don't actually get good brakes. Also, don't let your master cylinder run out of fluid while you're actually bleeding them, because what'll happen is you'll just push a load of air back in and you'll start from scratch all over again. So one container should do this, because it's only a single line to a single caliper, but we might need more, and I have more inside, so always make sure you have enough, because there's nothing worse than not having enough.
What's an acceptable amount of bubbles?
None. You want no bubbles.
They're good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Say you're good.
So no more bubbles. Excellent. So now what you want to do is just top your reservoir back up. Not too much, because remember you have to put back on your membrane and all that. The big thing with these, you don't want to tighten them too much. You can see someone cracked this one here before, previous when I owned it, and they did heal it up. It isn't leaking. I'm keeping an eye on it, but you just don't want to over tighten them. There's the rubber seal is there, so it's just barely hand tight, just a little squeeze. You'll see it if it's leaking anyway. You want good brake cleaner and blue towels. If you use any other colour, it won't work. Then you want to clean over here, and you want to clean over around here really well, because I guarantee you on the lower end you're after getting brake fluid everywhere, because it's impossible not to. If you do manage it, you are a god among men and women and dogs and cats.
Why does one man have 2 bikes?
Because one man would have 5 if he could. One for every day of the working week. So just a day. So here's the nice new brake line, golden ends. I wanted to keep it kind of reserved, so I just stuck with black braided. On the Fazer, which I did the other day, you can see the nice new blue braided. I'll explain the Fazer in a second. There it is, all the way up the top. It's really, the black braid is really subtle, you wouldn't even know. Oh my god, the feel on that is so much better. The Fazer, so explaining what happened with the Fazer. Here's the rear brake line, nice and blue. And the front brake line, which is also nice and blue. I've had these brake lines purchased for so long. The reason I didn't make a video on the Fazer one is because I wasn't really feeling like a video that day, and also I realised the guy who sold me this, he gave me the second line wrong. So what I could do with it if I wanted to is I can actually run 2 lines from here and go separately to the caliber. So I might do that. Let me know in the comments if you think that's a good idea. That is an option which I am considering. Sorry, BJ. And then also I can blur you. Also I need to measure up the clutch cable on the Magna because the clutch is kind of mushy on it, and I know that swelling as well. Like it's just gone. I need a nice braided one. Leave it exposed and pretty like this one. So what I'm going to do now is cable tie up these in here so that they stay there, and nice loosely so it still has movement. And that's about it. So if you've watched, thanks very much for watching. If you've liked it, leave a like, subscribe, share it to your friends. If you know anyone with a Magna, definitely share with them, because they definitely want to know all this stuff. It's super important for the old braided clutch lines. Yeah, thanks to Big J for the camera work. I'm not going to do the air filter today because I'm lazy and I don't want to. Me and Big J are going to go have a romantic walk together. So yeah, thanks for watching. Adios.